Hello everyone, and welcome back to your Oracle card reading session today. And this will be your reading for November 2023. However, this reading is timeless for whoever is watching at this very moment. I have placed our crystals upon our cards today, and this specific reading is for November. So you're going to choose a card, and we have 3 cards to choose from. I have placed our crystals upon the cards, and you're going to be choosing one of the cards for your intuitive reading today. So just if you need to pause the video and take some time to choose your card, take your time, and whichever crystal or whichever card you're most drawn to will be the card for you today for this month of November. I'm going to take each crystal and show you each crystal just a little bit closer so that you can feel a little bit more intuitively guided. So first we have golden calcite. Looks a little bit like honey. We have selenite, a selenite wand for our group 2. And lastly, we have our crystal quartz geode for group 3. So take your time to choose which card is best for you today, and that will be your reading for November 2023. All right, welcome back. Welcome group 1 to your November reading. Today we're going to be diving into any messages that you need to receive for your month in November of 2023. And again, this is an ASMR reading, so we will be going a little bit slower, and I will be talking softly, so you might want to turn up your volume to hear. But also, if you're trying to fall asleep, this will be an excellent way to fall asleep as well, just to relax. So you have chosen the crystal golden calcite, and this is a really, really beautiful crystal in terms of creativity. It kind of looks like honey, and so it's a very abundant crystal representing the nectar, the fruits of your life, and the fruits of your work. Today I'm going to be pulling cards from my designed oracle card deck, the Goddess Nest. And the first card that you chose is sensual. Sensual. And there's a beautiful prayer on the card. With the pulsing of my womb in a cosmic climax, my heart breaks open with a wave of emotion, seeping from my eyes, cleansing my aura, sending a gasp of air into the room. And so this card is really about finding your sensuality, your creativity once again, which really goes with this crystal of the golden calcite, representing your creativity, your passion, your pleasure in life. This is all about finding pleasure in your world, and not pleasure that gives you any monetary gain, right? This is just about pleasure, having fun for absolutely no reason. And sensuality can be seen as sexual energy, but sexual energy is the same frequency as creativity. So we're really looking for your creativity once again. Where has your creativity gone? Where has your motivation gone? We're wanting to cultivate this, and this energy lives within your sacral chakra. So you really want to be working here with a citrine or a golden calcite crystal to help cultivate your sensuality, cultivate your pleasure responses once again. What do you like to do in your world? November is telling you to go outside of your realm, Scorpio energy, do something that is new for you, something that challenges you. This is also going into our dark feminine energy. Dark feminine energy, doing things that challenge you. being loving, sensuality, giving that to those closest around you. What does that feel like? What does that sound like? What words do you want to communicate to people in a very sensual, loving way? And this, again, does not need to be sexual in any type of way. It's just more in terms of your creativity, your pleasure responses. This could even be seen as nourishing your inner child as well. I'm going to pull another card for you out of the same deck for November. What do we need to know for November? The rose, the rose, the rose. Okay, so for the rose represents self-respect. Okay? The rose, and the prayer here is, the golden light of the rose set a tantric fire within her that resounded for centuries, breaking down patterns of harm. So we're looking for this inner fire. The story is starting to come together with these two cards. The inner fire is asking to become enlivened, awakened within you. And the rose is all about respecting yourself, respecting your spirit. And what your spirit wants right now is to have fun. It wants to enjoy the fruits of life by going out of the norm of your daily routine. In order to respect the rose as well, you want to make sure that you are in your higher self. The message that's coming through here specifically in that way is, how do you speak to your loved ones? How do you speak to yourself? In this very sensual, loving way, using words that are kinder, using words that are more loving, using words that are more inclusive. This sensual energy is specifically calling to you in a very, very compassionate way. And maybe you don't even speak to yourself in a compassionate way, so cultivating that within yourself will make it a lot easier to do that with other people. Notice how in the card, the woman is gracefully caressing her own cheeks. You can see that here. She is caressing her own cheeks. And so she's giving herself this sensuality, and it's not necessarily about giving it away to anybody, it's about cultivating it within you, so that down the line it's much easier, it's more graceful to give this to others around you and start to nourish the garden of your world. The rose asks for a little bit more respect of your spirit. How do we respect our spirit? Well, we set boundaries, and we also make sure that we're nourishing our inner child with discipline and love. So the inner child wants to have fun. The inner child wants to be silly. The inner child wants to connect a little bit more with the world around you as well. So going out of your way, maybe putting yourself in situations that feel a little uncomfortable, but making sure that you are doing things that bring you joy and not monetary gain. This is all about strengthening your pleasurable response in life. And November, even though November is a darker month, especially if you're up north, the days are shorter. This is asking you to respect your spirit in terms of finding a daily habit that nourishes the darkness within you, nourishes this space that needs light, needs attention, needs awareness, needs love, needs respect. Okay? The rose is also the highest frequency flower in the garden. So you may be receiving messages from your angels this month. So you want to watch out for signs and symbols that are going to be coming through, specifically through the rose. You might see the rose symbol, you might see different numbers, but specifically the rose is speaking to you, and the respect factor of the spirit. All right, I'm going to do 2 more cards out of this deck here of the Goddess Nest. Okay, we have the inner child, making sense, and pure joy, pure joy. So this is all lining up very, 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 it's aligning very well for you. So as we're going through this intuitively, we're already speaking to the inner child. That was kind of a message intuitively that was coming out of these two cards. Now we've confirmed that yes, this is the area that needs nourishing for you this month. So the inner child is looking for respect, awareness, attention in this pleasurable way. What does the inner child need to be nourished? And the prayer here is, rest, my sweet child, for my patchwork of aligned stars lives within you. So knowing that you don't need to push anything in your world to nourish your inner child is just looking for something that can be fun, something that is pleasurable, connecting with others. But don't place so much seriousness around this. This is not a serious practice. It is sincere, but it is not serious. So we want to go into our world maybe a little bit more curious. That's really the inner child speaking to us here. Yes, respecting our inner child through these high amplified messages that we are going to be receiving, but also knowing that this is a really playful energy that's trying to come through. Now, you might be going through a dark time right now, but that's because the inner child is not being nourished. So what are we doing to nourish the inner child from a place that is not business, it is not monetary, it is play without a goal in mind. It is just for the goal of play. There is no goal but this, as my teacher, my 10 would say. So inner child is coming through very, very prominently here. And we have pure joy as well. Pure joy. This is a really beautiful reading because by the end of this month, you're going to be feeling a lot more pure joy. And joy that is pure comes from absolutely no reason at all, except for the fact that you have nourished your inner child. So by the end of this month, if you're doing some of this work of really, really going out of your way to find these spaces where you can nourish the inner child in these playful ways that bring more joy, bring more fun, bring more creativity into your world, pleasure responses. That's what you're working on, is strengthening these pleasure responses. By the end of the month, you're going to have this pure joy that is just flourishing through you, shining out of your eyes, sparkling. You may even hear some people in your life saying, wow, you've kind of changed a little bit, you're glowing, because you have nourished your inner child here with this pleasure, a little bit more play, a little bit more joy, stepping out of your daily routine, stepping out of the things that make life a little bit duller. We're going to start to enliven your world. So trying something new, being around people that are high vibration, being around people that inspire you, but not in a business sense. This is what's coming through here, is more inner child, healing, glowing from within, simply because you have given yourself time to find pleasure, the nectar of life, really, really enjoying some celebratory moments for your inner child that are healthy. What are some other messages that are coming through? There's a little bit of darkness here, so you are going to be going into the rose a little bit more. There are things that might make you feel a little bit taking you out of your comfort zone. You may be a person that likes to retreat a little bit into yourself, so the rose is asking you to, not completely step out of your inwards reflection, but to balance that with pleasure, whatever that may be for you. And if this is a time where you're really feeling like you need to step away from your social circles or anything like that, you might want to look for other social circles, or do more creative things that make you feel more nourished. So that could be things like painting, singing, dancing, cooking, creating oracle cards, writing, whatever that is for you, putting music together. but it's going to be more pleasurable, and it's not for monetary gain. I can't stress this enough. This is a message that is coming through very clearly. It is not for monetary gain. This is specifically just for you and your inner child to really enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling from a different deck, which is Buddha Wisdom Divine Feminine, and just a couple of messages from Kuan Yin today for the month of November, and what you would need to bring maybe as a mantra or an affirmation along your journey this month. So first we have, you might not be able to read that, act according to the true nature of the circumstances, remove any self-importance agenda. So this really goes along with the message that we're looking for. This is not a serious journey that you're on right now. This is a sincere journey, but remove any self-importance agenda. We're not looking for seriousness right now. We're not looking to nurture the ego right now. We're looking to go deeper than that. What does my inner child need? And act according to the true nature of the circumstance. Right? Act according to the true nature of the circumstance, which means the greatest good for everyone involved. What is the greatest good here that we're looking for? That means an egoless outcome. So you may be stuck in your seriousness. This is why the inner child might be feeling a little bit neglected. Maybe you're too focused on your career, you're too focused on your goals. But remember, when we step back from that sometimes and we nourish our inner child and we take those times to have more pleasure responses, we in turn have this byproduct of feeling more motivated, feeling more nourished, and so we're able to give more to our business or our career or our other relationships anyways. So going back to the root cause, the roots of your joy, the roots of your pleasure. When you were a child, what did you do for fun? For instance, for me, I would spend hours and hours in my room by myself, dancing, singing, painting, drawing, whatever it was. I would spend hours. It was like I had an imaginary friend. Have you forgotten your imaginary friend, which is your inner child? Your inner child wants to play. So remove any self-importance agenda. It's asking you. Your inner child's saying, let's stop being so serious. Let's stop being so serious right now. Okay, well, I'm going to pull one more affirmation that's going to help you along your journey. So, absolute reality is beyond name, form, and individuality. It is within you. It is the gateway to your noble self. Your noble self. Absolute reality is beyond name, form, and individuality is within you. It is the gateway to your noble self. The message that's coming through here is that you might be stuck in separation, competition. You might be stuck in this rat race or this hustle, right? And so this is a reminder, and the messages that are coming through here for your reading specifically for November, group 1, is that your inner child is asking you to lighten up. This is really, really the message that's coming through very vividly, very, very loudly. Lighten up. You don't need to take yourself so seriously. Yes, you are unique. Yes, you are beautiful. But maybe you're placing a little bit too much importance on yourself. And remember that the absolute reality goes beyond your identity. That's really this affirmation. My reality goes beyond my identity and my self-importance and my seriousness, and I need to lighten up. I would say that your mantra for November is, I won't take myself so seriously. I won't take myself so seriously. it's time to move beyond that and have a little bit more fun, a little more play, even when we are in those spaces of business, even when we are in those spaces of striving. You can surrender a little bit more to the playful side of you, and this ultimately is going to be very, very successful for you if you are able to see the bigger picture. Yes. All right. I have one more deck here that I'm going to pull from, and this is a really beautiful deck for divine nature, connecting to Mother Earth a little bit more, connecting to her messages for you. What do we need to hear here for group 1 for November 2023? November 2023, group 1. All right, the first one is unmask your darkness. Unmask your darkness. So this one goes a little bit more towards the rose. So there's a little bit of shadow work happening here. It may be because the inner child is feeling like it needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more awareness. So unmask your darkness, and the truth will shine through. So you can see there's light trying to come through. And this image, she's really opening up the curtains towards the divine light. There's a sweeping energy moving through her, this wind that kind of moves through her when she opens up these curtains towards the light. So this is an actionable card, a very actionable card of unmasking your darkness. Once you step into these spaces that are a little bit more challenging for you, maybe something you've never done before, you're going to move towards the light. You're unmasking your darkness, but remember that when you open the curtains towards the light and you shine that light within your darkness, we actually nourish those parts of us that we have denied. And this is really connecting to these two cards right here. The inner child is asking for a spotlight to be shone in order to be seen, Very interesting. So a lot of some shadow work happening, but through these pleasurable senses as well. Not taking yourself so seriously, finding those places that give you pleasure, but also realizing that those practices may open up some difficulties as well, show you some parts of you that you've been actually denying. Reclaim innocence. Reclaim innocence. This beautiful child. Surrendering into this phoenix, soaring above the earth, but feeling surrendered, supported, really feeling like you can relax as long as you reclaim and understand that you are innocent. You are an innocent child of the universe, right? And so when the messages that is coming through here is reclaiming your uniqueness, reclaiming an understanding that you are innocent no matter what you've done. And the more compassion, which is what was coming through in this area, the more compassion you can cultivate for yourself, the more compassion, the more innocence you'll see again within your inner child, and how you can play more because of that innocence. And what are we when we feel that innocence within us? We feel curiosity for our world around us. Curiosity, we feel more relaxed. We feel like we're more supported, but we have to decide with this darkness that is being unmasked, what is in this darkness that you haven't accepted about yourself that makes you feel shame? Because shame does not cultivate innocence. And remember, we are all children of God, so we are all innocent. We are all spirit. So we are innocent. Our spirit cannot be touched no matter what mistakes we've made, no matter what we've decided to do, good or bad. We are still an innocent child of God, and we are always seen that way. And so this phoenix that has risen, if we surrender to our own innocence, we will be supported along this journey moving forward. I'm going to pull one more card just to give us a final message for a summary to this reading. Your final card is Journey. Journey, the wild hair moving around, the wind, the sky, the different colors, this energy moving around you. There's a journey happening here, a journey that's going inwards. There's a lot of change happening in this reading right now. A lot of change, a lot being uncovered, but the journey here is the summary, okay? So we're going through this pleasurable, we want to cultivate our pleasure, we want to cultivate our creativity, we want to cultivate and respect our spirit's innocence. Once again, this is part of this respect factor by uncovering what we deny about ourselves, and in order to do that, stepping out of our norms that we do every day, moving into places that help us nourish our inner child, our curiosity, our pleasure responses. And through this journey that we are going on inwards, which is going to bring up some darkness and some things that you've denied about yourself, which is fine, you will reach this pure joy. You will cultivate this pure joy within yourself. Now, it's going to take time. It's going to take consistency, take devotion, but this will be cultivated if we are devoted to this journey that we are on. And don't take yourself so seriously through this journey, because really, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to really, really nourish your inner child. So your journey in November of 2023, what Spirit is asking you to do is nourish your inner child, understanding that your inner child is innocent. There are things about your inner child you've denied. You have denied, but it's time to nourish the inner child through pleasure responses, through activities that are pleasurable, while respecting your spirit. What is it that you enjoy? What is it that you enjoy? Not what other people have told you you enjoy, but what do you enjoy about life, just in general? Even by being here and watching ASMR, you know what you like. You like tarot reading, you like esoteric things, crystals, whatever it is. You like getting guidance, whatever it is. That's just one thing. What are some other things that you enjoy doing that are going to cultivate this relationship, opening into this lighter phase of your life, to cultivate this pure joy? So that's the journey that you're on for November 2023. This is an ultimate journey. The other thing that this card is telling me right now is that this is the beginning. Okay? This is the beginning of this journey, but ultimately by the end of November you are going to be feeling more joy, because you are devoted, because you are actively doing things to lighten up, to strengthen your relationship to your inner child. All right, group 1, have a beautiful November 2023, and thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Welcome back, group 2, for your November Oracle card reading in ASMR. So sit back and relax and receive your messages from Spirit today. These are messages that you'll want to take with you along your journey through this month. You have chosen the crystal selenite. Selenite amplifies all other crystals. It can amplify the space around you. It can amplify your auric field as well. as your intentions. It's a beautiful, beautiful salt crystal. So if you were guided to this crystal, you may feel like you either need amplification in a certain area of your life, or that you are amplifying your intentions through your actions already. Let's see what card was first pulled today from the goddess Nest. And the card is Nest. Nest. And you can see 3 women, or 4 women, just really relaxing into their space, creating a beautiful nest of relaxation. The prayer is, I am so grateful for us as I hold space here simply to allow. This card represents surrendering, relaxation, and creating a space that feels safe and secure. So you may be feeling like you want to nest in your home right now. You may feel like you want to rest with those that are closest to you, your best friends, your closest family, your children, whatever that may be. You want to really, really be with those people that are closest to you and that understand you, feeling safe so that you can fully integrate some of the awakenings that you have already had this year. So this is your first card, Nest. Nest. I'm going to pull a few more cards from the Goddess Nest Oracle card deck. And remember, you can always purchase this deck online as well. The website launches November 22nd, 2023 to purchase. And we're working with the goddess archetypes today with this deck. And this works for everyone, not just women. We all have that divine feminine within us. So really being open to what the messages from the divine feminine are. Your next card is gratitude. Gratitude. So you can see here, the prayer poem is, I woke up with the answer of the stars who took my hand and guided me out to the other side. And so this card represents gratitude in terms of awakening. This is really the message that's coming through intuitively from this theme of these 2 cards. So nesting and integrating any awakenings you've had. You've recently maybe have woken up to some awareness and some epiphanies of all the amazing things that are in your life, whether they are small, big, whatever it is. You're feeling more gratitude this month. And so really creating this nest to integrate this gratitude is going to be really helpful for you this month. Even though you are kind of awakening, it's important to integrate these epiphanies that you may be having right now. So Spirit is asking you to take a little bit more time with those that are closest with you, having gratitude for those who are around you, as well as yourself, having gratitude for the space that you've created for yourself that feels like home. And if you haven't done that yet, find gratitude in the small, little, tiny things in your life. Whether it's just a crystal or a soft pillow, but creating a space that feels like you can have gratitude, because gratitude really is the key to joy, natural joy in our life, being content. And so this is saying, Spirit is working with you. Spirit is working with you to wake up with the answers of the stars. And the answers all come back to gratitude and love, because when we can come through to the other side from our darkness, we see all the goodness in our life. We can see that. That's called waking up. when you can wake up to all the goodness and the love in your life. And that's not necessarily based on material things. That's based on relationships. That's based on having gratitude for absolutely no reason and seeing the beauty around you, whatever that is. It could be the trees, the grass, your breath. These can be very simple things, but the stars are helping you to awaken to those blissful concepts of life once again. So creating a space that's going to help you integrate this, and almost like you're going to steep in this energy all month long. It's going to be a very nourishing and relaxing month for you. Remember, if anything comes up that is stressful, that this will also help you. That nothing's going to really phase you if you've created this space for yourself to feel this energy. Let's pull 2 more cards out of the deck today for you. The third card is New Beginning. New Beginning. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense, especially intuitively with the theme that's happening here. So there have been awakenings happening for you. You may have had small awakenings, big epiphanies, whatever they are, but you might be feeling like you're coming out of a fog right now. You maybe haven't been in a fog for a while, but this card is telling you that there are new beginnings happening right now, on the way. And look how she's looking out to the horizon here. She's looking out to the horizon, which means these new beginnings are on their way. And so really steeping in your energy, your own energetic signature, and all the things that you're grateful for is what's going to help you prepare energetically for what's coming down the line, okay? It's not here yet, but it is on its way. There's a big new shift happening in your life. It's a very, very big shift for you. A new chapter, something that you haven't experienced yet. And the prayer here is feeling my body come alive, one rainbow drop at a time, softly kissing my skin. So new beginnings don't always have to be like immaculate experiences. What this new beginning is representing for you is more content, being more at peace, finding things that are more authentic to your own energetic signature that you like to do, that you like to experience, gaining more clarity about what this new chapter is going to look like for you. What are the paths forward to experiencing life in a really new, beautiful way that is more authentic to you, without anybody else in your life, without being attached to anybody else's energy, without needing to really be of service to other people. This is more about you and feeling more integrated with Source, feeling more at peace in your life so that you can maybe go travel, start a new project that is more creative, whatever that is. It could be a new relationship. There's so many things that we're going to gain more clarity on this in our next card, but what this is saying is that this is on its way. So this month you really want to rest, nest, create a space where you can really cultivate this gratitude and steep in it to prepare yourself for what's coming. Gaining more clarity about what that is by the end of the month should be more clear on what that is for you. All right, the fourth card is Butterfly. Butterfly. Beautiful. So we are emerging. Looks like by the end of this month or the end of this year, you will be emerging into a higher version of yourself. And that's really what this card represents. And it's also about surrendering. So right now, you might be in this space, right? Here we have the nest. So it's like the cocoon of the caterpillar. You are still resting, integrating in, cultivating this energy to go into your next chapter with all the things that you have learned, all the things that you are going to integrate, and moving into this new chapter over here. emerging from your cocoon and starting to express yourself. Look how open she is in this yoga posture. Very open to the light, open wings, opening. I place my emotions onto the throne of creation and the bridge point that cradles my heart here with heaven. So it's like you're opening your heart more, you're letting your heart guide you more, and you're placing your emotions onto the throne of creation. So it's like, here is everything that I am, everything that my heart state represents, and I'm now ready to move forward in expressing that fully and completely, and like really watering your garden of life, wherever that is, in terms of authentic expression. Is this going to be a new beginning, a new garden that you are nurturing for yourself? And it's going to be a representation of your higher self. So it's very, very exciting, very exciting. This is all coming down the line, right? So we're going to be still in this kind of nesting at the beginning of the month, moving through, preparing for this new beginning, ultimately emerging into having a very clear sense of where you're going, how you want to express yourself more, what you want to experience more of in your life in your own way. Something that's going to nourish you, not anybody else. Just this month is all about you. So this is a transition month, but you are going somewhere that is really, really, really exciting and beautiful. So congratulations. This is a really amazing message that you are ready to move forward. So beautiful. Let's keep going. So I'm going to be pulling from the Divine Nature Oracle card deck, which will give us a little bit more messages from Mother Earth today. We have a couple of cards coming out here. Okay, beautiful. So first card that we have here is establish sanctuary. Establish sanctuary. So same card as the nesting card. This is a theme for you. You need to establish a sanctuary that feels really, really good for you. If you already have one, maybe you're adding different cozy items or different things to that space that help you to feel really held and supported by spirit. Maybe even a photo of ancestors, spirit guides, deities, archetypes, whatever that is. Altar cards, oracle cards, gaining some more messages every single day in this space, doing meditation in this space. But this is a very clear message that's coming up here. Stay nesting for a while. Spirit wants you to really steep in your own beautiful energy that you have cultivated, resting in your own energetic signature. And if you're going through a tough time right now, just know that this is really going to help you process some emotions that are trying to move through. Okay. The second card that we have here is drink deeply. Drink deeply. Drink deeply. I'm actually going to read this card from my book, if I can find it. But yeah, this is a very unique card. So we want to get a little bit more information about what this is from you. And again, this is the Divine Nature Oracle card book. Divine, or drink deeply. Take a little bit more time with reveling. So when you drink from the cup of your own essence, everyone benefits. But when you try to quench the needs of others while your own cup runs dry, everyone pays the price. Now is the time to pull your energies back, prioritize a sanctuary of time with yourself, and honor the directives you hear from your soul. Name your bliss, align with it, then chart a renewed course to follow it. The person you are becoming will always cost you comfort, relationships, security, places, and opportunities. Choose yourself over everything. Okay,
Okay, so this is going along with the theme that we have already kind of gone over. It's really reassuring us that you are headed in this space where you are nourishing yourself. So I'm actually going to put this over here. Nourishing yourself and reveling in your essence, your energetic signature. You can really see it's like she's drinking her own energy. She is steeping in her energetic nature from a golden cup. She is surrounded by this beautiful golden aura, and just being steeping in that energetic signature so that she can feel nourished. And exactly what it says, when we are giving, we don't have anything left for ourselves. So make sure that you are doing this work so that you can really revel in your energetic signature and also get to know what that feels like. What is your energetic signature? What does that feel like? Your natural amplified energy. What does it feel like? It's a unique expression of the universe. What does it feel like? Get to know that energy. Get to know it more in your nesting, in your sanctuary, and have gratitude for who you are, because you are a unique, beautiful expression of the universe. All right, the third card is Transform. You can't make this up. These cards fell out of the deck. These are very, very prominent, powerful cards that are coming through loud and clear. Butterfly, transform. Okay, we have this confirmation. She is rising from the underworld, opening her chest, opening her heart. Her wings are being birthed. Okay, we are moving through. We are getting confirmation. You are birthing a new chapter in your life where you're going to be able to fly ultimately and express your wings. And remember, butterfly wings, no two butterfly wings are the same. They are like fingerprints. They are very unique. And so your butterfly wings will be unique. And that's the area that we are in right now. What is that uniqueness for you? Right? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do you want to express it? What colors are going to come out in that expression? You can see all this creative swirling. I'm just going to hold this up for you. Swirling around her body here. Beautiful, beautiful creativity. Yellow and the butterfly coming out of the crown of the head. So beautiful expression, connection to source. All right, the third card we have here is Own Your Power. Own your power. Okay, so she's holding this beautiful, beautiful energy that she has. She has all this beautiful energy that she's cultivated. You are owning who you are. In order to do that, we must have gratitude. Gratitude for who we are. Gratitude for our own unique expression. It looks like you've gone through quite a bit of healing, and now you're just at the kind of the end of that healing process, and you are going to begin to come out of this chapter owning who you are, owning your authentic power, in a really healthy way, not in an aggressive way, not in a loud way, but in a really content way that feels more at peace and more aligned with who your higher self is. Now, we had one more card come out of this deck, so I do want to include it. Radiate self-compassion. Radiate self-compassion. So the theme here is that when you own your power, when you steep in your uniqueness, you will radiate this beautiful, beautiful energy, because you will have so much gratitude for who you are and what your energetic signature can gift you. Taking the time to steep in this energetic signature that you have is very powerful, very unique, very beautiful. You're cultivating something you may have never even felt before about yourself. This is like unveiling a new version of who you are. You are almost gaining a rite of passage in this reading into this new chapter where you are going to be birthing a new life for yourself. In that, the end goal here, the end product of that is radiating this self-compassion that you have. Really, really beautiful. I'm going to pull some affirmations for November for yourself that are going to help you along this last little bit of your chapter. You might be having some sort of Saturn return, North Node return. There might be something going on for you right now where you're really having a huge shift in your life. This mantra is everything has a beginning, has an ending. Knowing that truth, you will find peace. All endings birth new beginnings. So you're going through a closing of a chapter, and knowing that everything has a beginning and everything has an ending, nothing is permanent, you will find peace. You will find peace in this ending, because endings, they really are what bring us gratitude. Because when something has a time limit, something like our life, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet to say goodbye to maybe an old version of yourself. Saying goodbye to the past, but having so much gratitude for that process that you have been through, that journey that you have been through. Such a beautiful, beautiful chapter you've been through. And now it's time to move forward with peace, with gratitude, and knowing that everything in our life has an ending and a beginning. So yeah, I'm actually getting emotional about this. This is really a beautiful reading. Okay, let's pull one more mantra affirmation for you for November of 2023. There is no right or wrong path. There is only the path that you choose. So this is going back to the paths. All pathways are open for you. All pathways are open for you. There is no right, no wrong. There's only the path that you choose. And so by nesting, by having gratitude for your energetic signature, really being in this deep, amplified sanctuary, steeping your entire being in your energetic signature, you will choose a path that is right for you. You will choose a path based on your higher self. Based on your higher self. And that path will be right for you because it is based on your higher self. You've done all of this work. You're steeping in the integration of that work. And then you're going to be guided by your energetic signature to the path forward. That might not be clear right now what path that's going to be. That's okay. But having trust and faith that path will be unveiled for you. Because you are surrendering to this time of nesting and integration. Trust that new beginning is on its way. It's just about being not even just patient, being like reveling in your amplified energy, because this is the closing of a journey. So you don't want to rush that process. Don't rush that process. Enjoy that process. Enjoy where you are at right now, because there are so many new things coming down the line that you're going to look back at this time in your life and remember it very fondly. So really enjoy and take it all in right now. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Enjoy that you can rest. Enjoy that you can be in your sanctuary and rest, because there are many things that are about to be birthed. So November is a really sweet month for you. Revel in it. Rest in it. Enjoy just resting and surrendering. And if you have a hard time resting, or maybe you feel like you're done resting, Do things that bring you joy. Do things that help you to establish a sanctuary within yourself, within your life, within your daily routines that make you feel like, hey, I know who I am. I know what I like. I know what my energetic signature feels like. I know what is authentic to me. And enjoy that process of creation. Enjoy this nesting, because it's like you're birthing something. What do we do before we give birth? We nest. We have to prepare for it. It can't just be birthed. It has to be prepared for. So that's where you are right now. Preparation for that time. And the more you prepare for that with love, with gratitude, with steeping in your own energetic signature, your own energy, the more potent this birthing process is going to be for you. Owning your power, transforming into something you haven't even experienced yet. How beautiful. Thank you for joining me for your reading for November 2023. I'm excited for your journey. Enjoy each and every moment, and I will see you next month. Many blessings. Namaste. Welcome, Group 3, to your Oracle card reading for November 2023. Remember, this is also an ASMR reading, so sit back and relax and just take in the sounds, take in the calming tone of the voice, and also allowing your subconscious to receive these messages from Spirit. Spirit wants you to know where you're going in this month and what messages are going to help you through this journey this month. So you've chosen the crystal quartz, which is a beautiful crown chakra crystal for intention setting and calling in angels, calling in Spirit to help guide you. If you chose this, you might be ready to set some more intentions in your world, opening up to Spirit more, opening up to messages, and also being very clear on what those messages are in ways that you can understand. So let's see what the first card is for you from Spirit. Shadow work. So if you don't know what shadow work is, this is really about holding yourself in your vulnerability. Where do you feel shame? Where do you feel guilt? Where do you feel humbled in your life? What are you working through? What are you trying to release right now? The only way to heal, the only way to release something that we deny about ourselves is to embrace it, to accept it, to understand that this is actually something that's here to teach you something about yourself in order for you to elevate to a new level. So shadow work. You can see she's in the dark here. Shadow work. Again, this is from the Oracle card deck, the Goddess Nest. I learned to seep deep into the wisdom of this great awakening once again, learning to stop the judgment of my own demise, for I have died 1,000 times and always come back to life. So remember, we go through shadow work many times. many times in our lifetime. But this card is asking you to do that work more consciously. What are you doing to hold yourself in this space, to meditate, to receive messages from Spirit, especially with the crystal quartz? You know, Spirit is asking to be a part of this process with you. So how are you consciously calling in Spirit to help gift you messages about yourself that you ultimately need to learn in order to grow and elevate as a person? So shadow work, we're surrendering. We're not trying to fix anything, though. We're not trying to analyze anything in shadow work. We are here to allow these emotions to rise and to embrace them and accept them as they are. They don't need to make sense. They don't need to have a story behind them. They can just be what they are. And that's really freeing. That's a really freeing experience in shadow work. It's a little bit different from therapy because we're not using the mind to alter or fix or analyze what is coming up. These are just emotions that need to rise up, be felt, and ultimately embraced in order to be released. eventually. So that is your main card today. I'm going to pull three more cards from the Goddess Nest Oracle card deck, and you can purchase this deck online November 22nd. This is the Oracle deck that I have designed, and it's all the Divine Feminine archetype messages. Let's see what else comes through for your reading, Group 3, November 2023. All right, we have dream work. So we can see that there is a little bit of a theme going on here. Okay, we are headed into the shadows of surrender. Okay, surrendering into messages that are coming through. Shadow work, dream work. You are going into this space where there are messages coming through if you are willing to surrender and also listen. Spirit is giving you lots of messages this month. Lots and lots of messages this month. So it's really about consciously taking time to listen, journaling after you wake up in the morning about what dreams you've had, because there are messages hidden in your dreams that you're going to want to be really clear about, and don't miss out on these messages. These messages are here to help you with the shadow work that is taking place. This is how Spirit's going to be connecting with you this month through your dreams. So be very, very aware of that. Take good care of your journaling process, your awareness, your conscious elevation through these messages. So the prayer is: resounding messages offered deep in the heart of my most vibrant dreams. Most vibrant dreams. And so these dreams might be based on color, maybe some spirit animals, but what is the overall general feeling of your dreams? The colors, if there are any vibrant colors that you can't deny, any animals, any spirit guides, what is the overall things that you remember about your dreams? Because they're going to be very vibrant this month. All right, let's pull our third card today. The third card is I am love. I am love. Okay, so the message that's coming through here, ultimately through this work, we come back to this mantra, I am. I am. And anything that comes after the mantra, I am, is your reality. So you want to be using this mantra, I am love. I am love. Spirit is trying to get you to move towards this direction. Ultimately, we can say I am love, but it's very difficult to integrate that. Easier said than done, right? Like, I am love is a beautiful affirmation. But Spirit is trying to get you to this space to feel this within your body, to feel this within your higher self. You're going to be receiving shadow work, difficult things that you're going to have to really accept about yourself, understand about yourself. Ultimately, the person that grows the most in life is the one that can really stand there and look at the things that they don't like about themselves, but have to accept about themselves without running away. The dream work is going to be giving you messages to help this process as you meditate, as you sit. Maybe you feel these emotions at a very high level this month. Cry, laugh, be angry, whatever it is, but do that in a really healthy way. Find a space where you can sit with these emotions to let them run through, because ultimately Spirit's trying to get you to this space where you can feel this affirmation within you once you start to accept what you have shamed about yourself, what you have guilted yourself about, what you deny about yourself is going to come to light this month. This is a good omen, a good sign, because if this work's being done, Spirit's going to get you here. You're ready to be in the energy of love. I am love. I am the color of deep, gorgeous fuchsia pink that wraps around everything and everyone I so deeply love. I am the goddess. that reminds you how good it feels to be alive. Ultimately getting you to that bliss point of life again, feeling that bliss point of life again, feeling passionate, feeling the divine love that is within you. That is where Spirit's trying to get you this month. Back to that space where you feel that divine love within you, right? All right, let's pull our last card out of this specific deck for November for group 3. All right, so yes, meditation will be your greatest ally this month. If you've never meditated before, you're going to really want to look for some guided meditations on YouTube, on apps, whatever it is, to do this work. So meditation is this really beautiful space where we can listen to Spirit, not just speak to Spirit. So this is what the overarching message is for your month of November. Listening to Spirit. You're going to be listening through your dreams. You're going to be going into the darkness to see and be curious about what is moving through emotionally. You're going to be meditating so that you can listen to what emotions need to rise up, holding space for your emotional body to recover and go through the darkness. Meditating is going to be your best ally here. And the message is very clear. So I rest gently in the steady flow of this glowing cocoon. I listen beyond me and hear the sweet grass singing into a chorus of hymns I once heard long ago. And so the prayer is stating that you're going into a cocoon phase in this month in order to hold space for your shadow work. And it's going to get you back into this moment of hearing the sweet grass singing into a chorus of hymns you once heard long ago. The sweetness of life. To do this work, we get to benefit after from this work. We get to feel and know the sweetness of life again. So know that even though you're in this space of shadow work and going through something, your spirit is asking to be felt emotionally, and you're going to be receiving lots of messages this month to help you. You're going to be able to feel the sweetness of life again. That's where Spirit's moving you. I am love. I get to feel the sweetness of life again because I'm moving through this. And every time we go through shadow work, it's a good thing because it means that you're ready to level up. It means you're ready to elevate to the next level. You're going into a deeper layer of healing. So know that the shadow work is never a bad thing. Never. Is always a good thing because it's almost like a rite of passage. You're ready to do this work. There's something that you've been holding on to that is ready to be released. What that is, we might get more clear on in the next cards. But these are the 4 main cards for your month of November. Let's go into the Divine Nature Oracle cards. We're going to ask Mother Earth for some messages here to get a little bit more clear on the theme of this month for yourself. Okay, so your first card is Encourage Effortlessness. Encourage effortlessness. You can see the image here. It's like a dragonfly opening up to the sky from a lotus flower. And the lotus flower grows from manure, mud. It grows from the darkness, the muck, and something beautiful can grow and rise out of that darkness. That's where you're going. And remember that shadow work is surrendering. You're not doing anything. You're just in this space of effortlessness because this is what allows emotions to rise. Simply sitting and allowing is going to allow this to rise up. You don't have to do anything. Just be present with your emotions. Provide space in silence or in guided meditation to listen to what is trying to come up for you, because there is something that's trying to move up for you, rise and leave. So create this space for it and encourage a sense of effortlessness in this practice. Because surrender is the most important thing in shadow work, and acceptance of where you're at without analyzing or fixing. And remember, the dragonfly is also a messenger for dreams. So this is, you're going to be receiving a lot of messages in your dreams this month. So stay really, really clear on what that is. All right, your second one is face your dragons. Face your dragons. I mean, the theme is very clear for you this month. You're ready to face your dragons. And you can see that the woman is coming out of the water. The waters represent her emotional state. But look how clear and pure they are. She comes out of the water in white, in this it's like a pure form, a pure energy. And there's all this, it looks scary off in the distance, but she's wringing out her hair and she is ready to go in. She is ready to face her dragons. And she is bearing it all. She is in a sheer skirt with no shirt. Like, she is open, vulnerable, ready to face this head on. That's what Spirit's saying. You are ready. You're ready. Whatever that is coming to fruition, and you are ready. But remember, you have to feel these emotions in order to face your dragons. So she's coming out of the emotional, purest waters of her subconscious. So shadow work's going to allow you to be in these waters. Dream work's going to allow you to be in these waters. And really what this card represents is integration. So you're going to be gaining a lot of awareness and messages through this. This card is talking about integration. So that's the second path, where we have the awareness. Now we're moving into, okay, how am I going to change the way I act according to what I'm triggered by? So, for example, maybe you have trigger around abandonment. Maybe you have abandonment challenges in your life, and so you get upset when people leave, or you have a hard time being alone versus maybe somebody's there often, and then when they leave you have a hard time transitioning from being with that person to being alone. Okay, well, how are we going to integrate that now? How are we going to change that? I have the awareness that I have an abandonment issue. How can I change that now that I know that that's what it is? It's not the other person's fault, right? I'm not blaming my situation, but I'm starting to embrace that, yes, I have this part about myself. How do I want to work with it? Maybe I create a space where I feel really supported and held. Make a nice cup of tea and meditate for a while and go into a space that feels supported and loved for yourself. Because Spirit is here. You're not alone, if that is your issue, but that's just an example of what that might be. But this card is about integration and how you're choosing to change your reactions to your triggers that are coming up. All right, let's go again. All right, your third card is navigate with heart. Navigate with heart. This goes with I am love. So your heart chakra is being worked with this month. This is where we hold all of our closest relationships. We hold our emotional baggage or turmoil. But remember, the divine feminine and the divine masculine live in the heart chakra. Okay, so when we nourish these areas of our life, we can think of them as our higher parents within ourselves. So how are you supporting yourself? Are you capable of being your own best parent? And when you are, you're able to nourish your inner child so well in such an authentic way that you don't need to reach out to anybody else to help you, because you have this. You understand who you are and what you need from yourself. That's the most empowering place to be when you're nourished from the heart. But this is saying navigate with the heart, navigate on how to support yourself from your higher parent. Because there's a lot of emotional turmoil happening here, a lot of relationship turmoil happening. But this is elevating you into that next space so that you can feel more love, more divine love in your life. What does that mean? Unconditional love, not looking for things in return from other people, not being dependent upon receiving from others, being more abundant in your love that you're giving, and not expecting that from the world around you. Ultimately, you're going to be nourishing your heart chakra. There's a lot of different chakras in the body, obviously, that could be worked on, but the heart chakra is coming through very, very clear, especially with this mantra, I am love. Let's do one more card pull from this specific deck for any other messages here. The last card that you have is share your bounty. Share your bounty. Okay, so this is, as we go through the cards, we're on this journey, okay? So ultimately this card here, sharing your bounty, being more abundant, is going to be where Source is taking you this month. So when you do your work, you have these epiphanies from your shadow work, from your dreams, messages, facing your dragons, meditating with this, all this, you're going to come out of this month more abundant because you've filled your cup. You're able to be your higher parent. You're able to support yourself more, which means your heart is going to be overflowing with more abundance, and ultimately Source is teaching you how to be more generous, not coming from a place of lack. So you might have been coming from a place of lack before. This could be more specific in terms of like the actual thing that the shadow work is trying to get you to move through. Do I feel lack in my finances? Do I feel lack in my friendships? Do I feel lack in my way of life? Am I reaching for things more instead of feeling like I'm manifesting from a place of abundance? Because the only way to manifest what you want is to already be in that energy. So we want to be in an abundant space. Okay, so what is blocking you from being more generous with your time, with your money, with your food, with your house, with your everything? This is with your love, right? And heart chakra, remember, heart chakra is about not just the ability to receive love, but also give love. We need to have both of these sides to the heart chakra. And when we navigate from this space, this is a space in the body that must be overflowing before anything can be given to anyone else. So the message that's coming through right now is that this area of your body is not overflowing. Your heart chakra has a little bit of lack, which means it just hasn't been nourished. It hasn't been balanced. It hasn't been nourished yet. So in order to nourish the space, we must do certain things and working with spirit, working with shadow work to help face, what exactly is it that is draining my energy, not allowing me to be abundant, and making me move from a place of lack in my life. Because right now there might be a certain area of your life where you're moving from a place of lack. But the good news is that you're getting over this. You're moving away from this now. There's something in your life that you are going to be releasing this month and moving you into a space where you will have the ability to share your bounty, and you will have a bounty, which is really, 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 really exciting. Okay, so I'm going to move into our last deck, and this is your affirmations for the month of November from Goddess Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. Very specific affirmations for your month of November. And the first one is learn and not doubt, so you can understand the peaceful calm of enlightenment. enlightenment. So you're in a space of learning right now. And to do shadow work requires a lot of humble energy. Shadow work can really knock us down. Just so it's like it has to break us open in order for us to really see, okay, what is going on? What is going on? What do I need to work on? So there is an energy of learning, and learn without doubting that process, because it is a very, very bountiful process. And this will be a good practice for you so that you can understand the peaceful calm of enlightenment. You're moving towards this awakening right now. The second one that you have is let go of clinging. View your situation as a witness. Your inner strength grows. Woohoo. Okay, amazing. So yes, you might be attaching yourself to something or someone, or your past or your future. What are you clinging to? What are you holding on to? What are you trying to control that you can't control? Again, encourage effortlessness. This card is all about surrendering. So surrender what you are trying to control, because you can't. Source is saying no, you can't control, so you have to surrender. And view your situation as a witness. So be an observer, almost like you're watching a movie or a story, not as an engager of this story. Like, we're not trying to fix, we're not trying to analyze, we're not trying to attach anything to this story, because the more that we attach to the story of our past, the less we can let go. So moving towards being the observer of this process instead of being so emotionally attached to the outcome of it. Just be curious about what's trying to move through you right now. And in this process, your inner strength will grow. You will become stronger through this process.